So far, the crew has cleared every hurdle naysayers have placed in their way. Columbus would be home to one of the 10 inaugural teams. Columbus has outperformed much larger cities. The true success indicator has been from the fans. Well, it's boys' night out.
Hello and welcome to the club. I'm your host, Mars, and this is the Upper 90 Club, a roundtable podcast for five friends to discuss the Columbus Crew. On this episode, we kick off our second season. Congratulations, guys.
Made it.
Wow.
We have a sampling of a lot of fun things planned for this season in this episode, such as our weekly match predictions and running scorecard. More on that later. We debut our new recurring crew trivia segment, The Shootout, with Great Deville, former crew writer for the Columbus Alive and current managing director at Stereo Gum. We do our match preview with the opposing team's media, in this case, DC United. Ben and Trey sat down with, who were you guys with?
James from DC United Kingdom.
Okay. And so we'll do that later. And as you heard at the top, and as I mentioned last week, a new theme, courtesy of Nick Tolford and Company, Boys Night Out. Thank you, Nick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
So if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Napster at Upper 90 Club Pod. And you can email questions, comments, and general complaints to podcast@upper90club.com. With me in the club is Ben, Mort, Trey, and Haas. Say VAR, guys.
Oh,
no. Too soon. Too soon.
Welcome back, Ben.
Yeah,
Oh,
thanks.
yeah,
It's
Ben.
missed you.
good to be back.
Hope everyone's feeling better.
We're not.
It's really crowded in here today.
Yeah. So big storm came through tonight in Columbus. I saw a picture of Haas hold up with his motorcycle helmet on and some questionable joggers. How was everyone doing over there, Ben?
Oh, we did great. Anytime there's a tornado, I just go to my garage, I open the garage, and I just watch the storm roll in while listening to Goo Goo Dolls' Long Way Down from like the Twister movie. Long way down, and I just keep hitting back.
No one has seen it that many times.
Oh,
even I mean, I
has.
know that I've talked about Bill Paxton a couple times on this podcast.
He comes again.
Even he did not know that. I don't think he ever saw it though. All right, Mort, what about you?
So when the alarm started going off, I started thinking about, my liquor cabinet is all glass. So I ran downstairs, pushed my kids to the side, and got to the liquor cabinet.
Yeah.
And I grabbed my best bottles, kind of got a handful down here, and I helped and went down in the basement.
Okay.
And then
That's thinking with your liver. Good job.
I thought
Mort.
you were going to
Yeah.
lock yourself in it, but
Oh no, I did. But I told the kid to find. There's a tub upstairs. I said,
yeah. No motorcycle
Upstairs.
helmets, though. What
I
about
think
you,
a lot.
Trey?
Yeah, so I ended up going to the basement as we should do, and I figured while it's practically Armageddon going on outside with the sirens, I might as well turn on the Philadelphia replay and watch and hurt and just Extreme wish I could torture. just go outside.
Yeah.
So that's not how you ride out the storm, though.
Oh, to add
Riding
to it, I
into
had
the
a
storm.
3.5-year-old and a 1.5-year-old screaming and running, and so that's how you roll through a tornado warning. Watch
Sounds fun.
sirens.
At least,
Yes.
at least you guys have basements. When I was in Tennessee, there were no basements, so it's like, well, I guess we'll just wait.
All 6 of you in the tub.
Wait for our surge.
The alarm goes. Yeah, the alarms
Yeah.
go off. You're just like, what do you do?
Yeah,
Thanks.
Yeah, it wasn't good. Pause. I mean, I mentioned the picture. I mean, was this legit? What else did you have going on? Did you have like a bobsled that you were in, or?
I turned on the news. They
Mhm.
suggested finding your closest bike helmet or motorcycle helmet and going to the
Who
basement.
did that?
Yeah.
Nobody.
You know that? Yeah. This is
What
was like,
local
I have
news
yeah,
station?
No.
You know what
No.
I mean?
I have a
Lining the
motorcycle helmet
pockets of big helmet.
Yeah.
and a bike helmet that I haven't used in
Paid
years. Why
placement.
don't I go find those? So yeah,
I
guess
can't
brought to
believe
you
by
that's
Shell.
a,
working.
I can't believe that's a thing that they said on.
Threw the motorcycle helmet on for a picture.
The only one that really hit was Trey, and that was like a bullseye.
Yeah.
But you're all good. I'm
Okay.
still here. Internet and all.
All right. Well, so now that we're all here and in one piece, we can talk about Philly game. And I have questions for you guys. There's been a lot of chatter on the text thread. Obviously, a lot of controversial moments throughout the game, but I mean, we'll get into that. Let's just start with the lineups, high level. Were there surprises? Ben, why don't you start? What'd you think of the lineups?
Well, the first thing that stood out to me was Matan. I guess I didn't really read that he was, kind of in the plans. I knew he was, still on the team, kind of like Yao Yaboa, but, to have him start up top with, Zelarayan and Cucho, it seems like out of place. He played well. He played pretty
did play well.
He took credit for that first goal for probably 2 or 3 minutes.
I didn't think he did. I thought he pointed at Cucho like it was all
Yeah,
you.
he ran over and pointed at Cucho.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. If I were him, I would have been like, yeah, that was totally me. I thought it was him.
All right.
But yeah, that that stood out.
What about you, Mort?
I mean, we have to go to number 2, Quinton, right? You go into the big guys, so to speak, the best team probably in MLS the last couple of years, and you put it on the youngster.
Yeah.
And he had his moments, but he looked a little bit out of sorts, a little bit like a deer in headlights kind of a situation there. And I made some bad decisions, got caught a few times, and I keep thinking, send this kid to the weight room a little bit. And but he did some good things too, and I think he has a future. That was a tough start for a youngster.
Yeah.
I definitely expected Williams to start over him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Hawes, is that your take?
No, I was surprised seeing Patrick. I'm gonna mess up the pronunciation. Schulte.
Yeah.
See him getting the start over Bush was a surprise, but I thought he performed pretty well. He was very aggressive at times, which I've read some things about him with Crew 2, where he was being coached to be aggressive, get out and up the field, and then he was like, that's as far up the field I'm going to go. But there were a few times he was out and aggressive, and, not much you can do with 2 PKs.
Yeah.
Trey?
Yeah, I'm going to echo what all 3 of you said. Matan, didn't know he was still on the team, honestly. Didn't realize he'd come back from Romania. Quentin crapped his pants at least 3 times. He reminded me of Chad Marshall a little bit, so I'm hoping he develops. Schulte, speaking of hitting the weight room, he's got to do some bulking up a little bit, be a little bit more decisive. But overall, 2 PKs, hard to fight him for that. I mean, that's 35% of the lineup. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, and
speaking of Matan, you mentioned Matan. I thought he played pretty well.
Yeah, he played pretty well. Yeah, that was probably of a positive surprise. It was Matan.
Yeah, absolutely.
He came in and played like the player that we wanted him to be 2 or 3 years ago.
I'm used to seeing him get knocked off the ball a lot more, and he was holding it up and finding the open man. But I think the majority of the team had some flubs. Errant pass here or there, giving the ball away in the middle of the field. I'd struggle to name a player that didn't do it at least once.
Yep.
And Nagby got the armband, as I think that's kind of where we landed when we talked about it last week.
Yeah, it made the most sense.
Okay. And then, so that's kind of like the specifics, but, how'd you feel about the Nancy setup, from a coaching standpoint? What were your thoughts on that?
I thought it was interesting. So when we talked to Hattie, he was like, you play a 3-4-3 or a 3-5-2, and usually that means most of the time you're playing like almost a back five. It's almost more defensive.
We talked to Hattie
you're going to play
from the Balls Round
podcast
podcast in
from
Montreal. Yep.
And he's like, no, he actually plays very attacking and like ball possession. And I think we had like 60% possession or something crazy. Like we had a lot of possession, even though the second half was like complete garbage. It was exciting. I mean, the first half, I mean, I'm sure everybody else can kind of speak to this, but the first, luckily we're able to rewatch it now with MLS and Apple, which I actually want to give a shout out to. I think it's awesome. I was able to turn it back on today and kind of like slowly go through the game and reevaluate everything. And it's kind of nice to be able to do that at your own leisure, like the next day.
If you could find how to rewatch it.
Yeah. Luckily our IT department, Trey, was able to tell me how to do it.
Decipher. Yeah.
Yeah. I had to So it was exciting. It was like very exciting. Like regardless of the score, I'm very excited to see like kind of what this team does, especially like the youth. And like you guys are throwing shade at Quentin kind of. I actually thought he played pretty well considering he's kind of set up to. They were kind of set up to fail in a back three.
I think he was left in the game a little bit too long. I think that's what I ended up seeing there was.
He was in the game the entire time.
Yeah, I think, and really the last 20, 25 minutes, it was painful. But
yeah. More, you got a whole notepad over there. Anything pertaining to this topic?
Yeah, quite a few things. So I didn't have a chance to watch the game live. I decided to go to a concert instead, and I was chanting really loudly when we got the goal, obviously.
Right.
But my first note is like, don't panic. I feel like a little bit. I won't panic. This is probably the toughest start we could have had. Trey and I, we know this with United. We started this season with like 2 ugly losses, like big time against lesser team. And this is the opposite thing. We are the lesser team, went to the big team right in now in MLS. And so I think it's kind of a trusted process. And I think we're going to get somewhere. I think there was a ton of positives, and one that really stood out for me. And I see the ratings aren't great, but Farsi, he impressed me with kind of his offensive mindset and his aggression and the way he was up and down the field, which could leave us a little vulnerable at times. But I think that's also a little bit of the Nancy way as well.
That's the main thing I saw was anytime they hit us on transition with how we were playing, we are vulnerable. And I will say my main takeaway from Farsi was his defensive, like he was able to get back, and a lot of people were covering for other people. Like I saw Quentin, I saw Sands, I saw Morris, like even though there were 3 in the back and they were transitioning, if you watch the game again, there's a couple of times where it's like, oh, they're on a breakaway. And then we were able to, stop them and like come back and actually like, get it out for a throw in or get it out for a corner kick because of the hustle. We were able to we were pretty organized considering how chaotic it was in the back.
Yeah.
The other thing that comes to mind here in this game was a little bit of, we are pretty young, obviously. There's a lot of less experienced players out there. And that's when I felt when we have the 1-0 lead. We haven't really gotten talking to the goals yet and all that, but years in the past, we would have a Santos that would draw the fouls and we would create some frustration. Instead, we actually ended up getting like a bunch of yellow cards right off the bat. We were kind of the aggressor and we caused fouls instead of kind of frustrating the opposition. So I feel like we were a little bit naive in our approach and maybe a little bit not cool enough, cool-headed enough, to put it that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think that kind of comes with a new coach and a new system.
Yeah, absolutely.
And especially we were pressing, like we were
so
at
hard.
The very beginning of the game. Yeah, which I still feel like we kind of got burnt out the second half. We came out super strong, which is fun to watch.
Yeah,
I didn't think the second
5 yellows.
Yeah,
5 yellows
that's what I was
true.
just going to say is, as we continue to talk here, the 5 yellows, the 2 PKs, kind of the way this game went down. I think Mort mentioned it earlier. It really had an impact on this team and the mentality. You saw kind of them reverting back to some of the tendencies from last year. slumping shoulders and bad fouls, and kind of the way this game went felt like last year. But yeah, I mean, overall, Philly's first in the league and considered the number one to win MLS Cup and Supporter Shield for a reason.
Yeah, they didn't lose anybody. They have the same 11 they started with.
Yeah,
I don't feel like they played us. They didn't. That game did not feel like 4-1. But
no.
It was a 2-1.
Yeah, okay. So let's talk about the goals. Are we good on gameplay and players? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So first goal we later found out was an own goal, Jacob Glasness. What do you think about that? Leading up to that, I we just talked about it. I think the game started strong, right? I mean, it seemed like a logical conclusion to our play, right?
Yeah, we deserved it.
It was a product of how we were playing.
There we go.
It was 28th minute, and I mean, I don't think it was his first touch, but Kucha wasn't on the ball a whole lot early on in the game.
Yeah.
But essentially, he had it on the right side of the box. He played it into Matan, who was making a near post run. I can't tell for sure if Matan gets the slightest of touches on the ball or not, but in the end, it goes off of Glesnes, and it's an own goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it was a good off the ball run. He the way he checked in, and they gave him just a little bit of space in the box, which you cannot do to Cujo. You cannot give him space when he's inside the 18. He's a monster. But even leading up to that, again, watching it again, we had a lot of opportunities. And I think there was one, maybe 2 minutes before, where we had a foul outside the box, and, Zellerand almost put it in. I mean, we're playing against Andre
He had a few
Blake.
good looks.
Yeah, and keep in mind, this is the past 5 games, we have not scored a single goal against Philly. That's and at last year, they were the best defense in the league, I think, by a landslide. Or maybe LAFC might have been close or whatever. So, the fact that we were up 1-0 in 30 minutes and we should have had 2 or 3 more, it's, I don't know.
So I think we all agree it was earned, whether it was an own goal or not. I mean, it was a product of our work there. So then right before the half, I watched it again. I think it was 44-30, right? In the 45th minute, there was a scrum in the crew side's box. And I mean, Haas, you may be able to talk through it, but it came off Farsi's hand from about 18 inches, right?
Yeah, I mean, his foot could have basically collided with his hand as well. It was so close to him that all the players were arguing he doesn't even have a chance to react. His hand wasn't out of position.
Yeah,
was it Farsi? The shot is hit his elbow. It wasn't even his hand. It was his elbow sticking out slightly.
Yeah,
but
and I mean, he had his hand up towards his shoulder, kind of in a defensive position that you would have your hands closer to your face, your shoulder, and it hit off his elbow.
And that shot is ending up in the Delaware River. It's not even it's going straight up.
Yeah.
Well, and as the ball bounces around the box there, it's a free kick from the left side. Guy heads it back into the box. Bedoya takes a shot that deflects out to the left. And they're yelling for a handball.
They're yelling for a handball.
Shot.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
2 seconds before this happens, they're already screaming for a handball. They get the ball back, lay it off to Flatch. Flatch, I don't know how to say that guy's name. Just makes me think of the TV show. And he just kicks it straight up into Farsi's arm.
Yeah. So
which is in front of his body.
And I'm going to say this. This is how I view it. And this is how I'm going to view the other handball and pretty much all handballs in general. For this specific one, if you take away his hand, it's going to hit him in his chest. So if you look at it again, it's right there. So in the silhouette, I think is the FIFA rule of your body. If it hits your hand and it's in the body silhouette, it's not a handball. So right off there, that's not a handball. And I always think does that shot, if there's something like a handball, does that necessitate a free shot on goal? That. Right. Was it that egregious where it's okay, cool, you deserve a free shot on goal with nobody however many yards out. Like,
it doesn't check any of the boxes. There was no intent.
No.
It didn't make a difference. The shot was not on goal, and
it was
too close. There was not enough time for any kind of human reaction. It's crazy.
Yeah. And here's the thing: he calls it. That's the problem.
Immediately,
he calls it immediately, and that means that it's not a clear and obvious error because it does strike the hand. That's why it's not overturned.
Sure.
I can tell you that if he doesn't call it, I don't
it
probably
trust.
won't get called, but I don't trust that because we're going to talk about the third goal here later.
Yeah.
So
okay, all right. So I think we have a consensus that that was unfortunate, but going into the half, it was like, okay, 1-1. We earned one. We gave a silly one away. Let's get into the second half. We have another one come. This is pretty organic. It was a good-looking goal. Julian Carranza, 52nd minute. I don't think there's much to debate there.
Wasn't there a foul right beforehand? Like a studs up Bedoya, or was that the other handball?
No, that's the before the penalty.
Okay.
So this one here is, we had a couple of these where we really force it out from the back, and there's kind of like a panic play. In this case, Quinton decides to play a very forced ball to Nagbe, and Nagbe kind of flicks it on to Zelrayan. That is under pressure right away from the sub, I believe, or no,
Martinez. It's like their best center defensive.
And by the way, Martinez, I don't know how that guy doesn't get cards, because the first half he had like 3 or 4 fouls, and we get a card. That was one thing. But they played aggressive like that, and they win the ball, and they played straight down that channel, on the right side on their right side, kind of like in the middle, outside between the 6 and the end of the box there, and put it in, and it's a 1-2 and in the goal. And they had quite a few of those. They played kind of right in between Quinton and Degnick, hit that space there a couple of times. There was one offside, I believe, and there was one that we managed to cover. But it was that wasn't the first time. We had a couple of forced errors that caused a turnover, that caused a chance for a goal.
Yeah, I think there was 4 or 5 off, like they were offside. Yeah, like trying to play that channel. So we were playing a pretty solid line. I think there was one that was like a breakaway. The guy ended up like wide open goal hitting the side of the post, and everyone's like, "Oh no!" And it's like, well, you both were offside, so it would not have counted.
That was in the first half,
at all. Speaking of, I do have a question. So, and we'll get to it on the second handball in quotation marks. It doesn't appear that Apple has any like down the line cameras, because I could have sworn he was offside when that ball was hit. Because there was nobody when he taps the ball in, he's beyond the last defender. I don't know if he wasn't there like one step beforehand, because like our goalie raises his hand and the guy's inside the 6, and I don't think anybody. So check it out again and tell me I'm crazy. But
I'm watching it, and I think the problem with it is that right as the ball is played,
is he in line with
Herrera? He's onside because of the ball and Bedoya. And the ball keep him on.
Partly, but also Quentin in the back is like reaching to block the anticipated cross coming over.
Okay,
and his outstretched foot would keep him onside.
Yeah, anytime someone scored,
was slow to recover.
I think Herrera also was there. It might have been keeping him on. Because I saw it and I was like, okay. Normally when I'm watching,
he's beyond Herrera. He's beyond the backline defender, but it's for sure it's Quentin keeping him on.
And he was okay. I usually when I watch the EPL and there's a goal and it's like he's kind of like the almost offside, or he's like past the last defender, they show it down the line or whatever, and like they didn't
perfect
have
shot
that at all.
Angle.
Yeah,
and I think this goes back to what I was saying earlier about like Quentin, like in some of his play. This is one of those scenarios where you have to commit one way or the other.
He needed to step.
He needed to step and go into him and take the pass out of it, or put it yourself in a position that you're going to block the cross coming, across the 6.
Sure.
He did neither, and that was the problem.
He was originally on Carranza, and he went out to Bedoya when he passed the ball to Bedoya, and that's when Deganek was slow to pick up Carranza after Quinton went out to try to get to Bedoya.
Right. But
Yeah.
he got caught in no man's land, and
Yeah.
And that's going to
So-
happen in this system.
Yeah. So, and it, we got scored on, right? I mean, this
Sure.
take the handball from that we just talked about out of it. We
This one
got
was
scored
legit.
on in a high pace, high intensity game, right? Like
After we gave the ball away to start their possession of the ball
Right.
there.
right.
Yeah.
So
Did
This
any
was-
of you guys take note of the announcers talking about when we took the kickoff for second half, how Columbus has such a record of blowing leads?
No.
That's the first thing they
Nope.
said after the kickoff. I was like, damn.
we didn't even
you.
have a lead at that point.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the other handball. That was like, this is
I
like
mean,
the
we can
guy
make it
at the
quick.
party who corrects you when you say something wrong. It's like, well, a few minutes ago like it was the call that never need. No one knew that that it hit his hand, and we still don't know whether it hit his hand, right?
Yeah. No one knows.
Forearm.
It was a forearm. It was that ball was a field
He was
goal.
partially out of the box.
Partially out of the box.
he,
It would have got the shot went way over the goal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah, it's the positioning. So it should be the questioning here is should have been a PK.
It was originally called a corner kick, right?
Even if
right.
it was a handball where the hand is clearly enough in a handball situation, the question is he even inside the box?
Right.
He wasn't.
Because
Yeah.
and
He
hits
wasn't
his
inside the
left
box.
hand.
He wasn't.
He stands on the line with his right foot, and he hits his left arm, and he's standing sideways with his left shoulder
Yeah.
towards the shot. So it's I'm questioning very much that his hand, and I don't think they ever looked at that angle when he walked up.
How could
all
they
saw
not
was
look?
that
I don't understand
How
this
could
one
they?
at all.
They spent so much. I mean, again, it spun up from nothing. They didn't blow the whistle for it. It was like, let's go
Philly
looking
didn't
for
even-
a problem.
Yeah, they weren't even raising their hand like
They
handball,
were
handball,
calling
but they
for
were
a
doing
corner.
the entire game. Yeah,
They were
right,
calling
yeah,
for a corner.
Exactly.
And after that, for
Mm-hmm.
a while, they started holding the ball and then started complaining after a while. I think they heard it from the sideline or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
sure, that's fine. I just don't understand how, however many miles away we are from Philadelphia, sitting at home on my couch, I can look at that and go, yeah, it's clear he's outside of the box. What is going on? Like, why are we not seeing the view down the line?
Yeah.
To be able to tell
They
his
didn't have
hands in
cameras.
the box.
They didn't have it.
Then that's the problem. Is that, like, how are you making that call based on the information that we're seeing? And if you're seeing something else, how come we're not seeing it?
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if VAR has
angle
a different camera or something like that. Like if it's
Well,
just
when
the
he
Apple
walked
broadcast.
up, you can see what he was looking at
Right.
the review.
was like
and he
from
was
our
only
goal.
looking from behind, like
Yeah.
looking
Yeah.
towards the goal. That's
Right.
the only angle he was looking
Right.
at.
What a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't that goal. I don't think. Well, that kind of took totally the wind out of ourselves for sure. And we actually had a couple of opportunities. People say we're told it fell off the page in the second half, and really we did. We did have some periods where we played decent too, but not as well as first half.
Yeah.
Rewatching.
Rewatching helps.
It looked better than it felt the initial watch.
Correct.
Exactly.
Same.
Yeah.
The second
Yeah.
half.
So, and I noticed one thing in that half we didn't mention. Sands came out, Farsi switched sides,
Yeah.
and we put Diaz in on the right side. And
Who immediately breaks his
Diaz
shoulder.
did what Diaz does, and he gave up the ball a lot.
Yeah, he had
Mm.
a very poor game.
Yeah. He was injured. Is that legit, Haas? What's the story with Diaz?
He played through it. I don't know what. haven't seen any details about.
Shoulder, arm, or hand.
Was his shoulder
or,
the one
I
that
mean,
he hurt
usually-
last year? Was it a shoulder or was it an arm? Like his
I thought that was a
forearm?
wrist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and it
know.
looked like he was holding his wrist again.
I thought it was
No.
his rib.
Mm.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
I don't understand the human
Okay.
body.
All right.
Anywho, made of glass.
Do you guys want to talk about the fourth goal or
I mean, it came off of
It
another
occurred.
turnover.
yeah?
Morera trying to
Yep.
do too much with the ball in the middle. He gets it way out in front of him. Torres does well to stand up two players. I think it was Zelarayan and
Nagbe.
Morris.
It was
Or was it
Nagbe.
Nagbe? Okay.
Yeah.
He works his way through both of them.
It was
one with a
good.
spin move, one just bodying him. and Deganek loses Carranza.
No, that ball he plays was insanely good. Like watching it again, I just kept watching it and I was like, it's the perfect pace to get to where it needs to be. Like I gave it to them. That goal, I was like, okay, cool. Like that ball, they absolutely deserve that. I mean, I thought maybe the goalie could do a little bit better, but man, that ball, whoo.
That was Torres' goal, and I
good.
think that was his first touch.
Yeah,
coming into he was just subbed on right before too.
Yeah.
So
Argentine, go figure.
That was impressive, but it was disappointing how like Nagby and Quinton at the same time just got schooled.
Oh boy,
it was dirty.
Yeah,
that's the issue. Yep.
And then in the 80th minute, I think Russell Rowe should have scored.
The Pirate. We can say the Pirate.
Yeah.
We've got.
Yeah. Ben has a nickname for Russell Rowe.
We
Pirate.
We have a
JR.
It's too much. Just pirate works. Pirate.
So
he looked pretty good.
He looked
limited
good.
time he had.
Mm-hmm. Just not enough time. And then Yao Yaboa came on, and it's like, yeah, boy.
He was trying to push forward a little.
Sure. This is where it's troubling is the fact that they're putting in Torres and they still have a lot of quality players on the bench, and we go for Yaboa.
Yeah,
well, I think you have a couple years of development different there because of Philadelphia's system has been bringing players through, and the fruit of that is the first team.
Yeah.
Currently, you saw who we were bringing through to the first team with Farsi, Schulte, Quentin.
Yeah. Parente.
So we're at a different level currently, and we'll see where it leads in the next few years. But I mean, to be able to play, Zawarski came in as well.
Yeah,
Zawadski.
And I think
Mike Zawadski.
I think a key takeaway is also the fact that we are sitting here being mad at VAR. We're not sitting here being mad at and upset with the team.
Yeah.
And we're not really upset with Nancy or anything like that. I think if you look at individual performances here, there was a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
That's a lot of positive. The only thing that concerns me a little bit is Cucho's tendency to pull back on the goal, our goal. He plays the ball in. I want him on the end of that ball. I don't want him to be the guy playing the ball. And he tends so many times to be the guy that kind of pulls out. And I think we create chances, but they're low percentage chances.
Yeah, but I think that's Ramirez. I think that's where Ramirez works. That he's good. Because I think Cucho, because the Apple, broadcast or whatever, and they were interviewing him, he's like, I love coming back and like playing. And then for Colombia, I play on the wing and I like to get in those spaces and get the ball. He is kind of a fox in the box. I mean, we saw it, remember last year, his header, his like diving header. I'll never forget that. That thing was disgusting, but he likes to do that. So, the only person that was like a true 9 that we were trying to get the ball to was Matan, which is also not a number 9. So I think with Ramirez, it'll be more of like it'll click a little bit more. And also I want to point out that Josh Williams was actually didn't travel.
Not on the bench. Yeah.
So like we didn't have another like center back.
Can I provide a quick quote to wrap up Philly?
Yeah, do it.
Yep.
Direct quote. This Columbus team is going to be very, very, very good. If you look at the first 15 minutes of the game tonight, we didn't touch the soccer ball. You can see the ideas that Wilfried's going to have with them. Just how good they're going to be, how dangerous they're going to be in the Eastern Conference this season. Jim Curtin.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's right.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah, so, and I think, we can get upset about the VAR, but we did lose the game, right? You take the 2 handballs away. I think we still got outplayed, but there's promise. The scoreline's a bummer, but I agree with Jim.
Yeah,
I think there's
thanks,
a lot
Jim.
to look forward to.
Yep.
It's also easy to say that when you won 4-1, but
Right.
right. They're going to be real good. I mean, we stomped them, but
there's like a second portion to it as well, but it's kind of repetitive. So.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we can put that one behind us. We've got we can start playing CREWSMAS music now. Now that CREWSgiving is over. So leading up to this weekend's DC home game, we've got more to talk about. First, we're going to do the new game, the shootout with Chris Deville, when we come back from the break. We'll talk a little bit about the new playoff structure, eye roll, and then we'll
They're
wrap
open
things
now.
up after we do our DC deep dive. So we'll be right back.
Should we give thumbs up? Can we do that? Like, we're back.
We'll be right trap.
We'll be right trapped.
We should always do thumbs up.
Ben didn't see that.
Yellow.
Ben didn't see I gave him a yellow for that.
Oh,
He's like,
and I got like, get on my little book here.
And I know I'm wearing my glasses, but I want to be able to
I know.
actually read.
I'm wearing the same. I'm wearing. You can tell
all
they're
right.
reflections.
So blind tasting. Weller's not the worst, you dickheads.
Oh, Weller scored was terrible.
No,
What did
by
what
far.
did you write here?
Honestly, it was.
You
and I
writing down
liked it
these
when I
times,
tasted.
Ben?
Sorry,
You got the time written down?
43.
I'm not even going
Ish.
to worry about it.
That doesn't matter, right? Because
No, not for audio.
you
That's
start
more for
cutting it down.
Trey. But I mean, we can also you can scrub. You can
Yep.
probably try. Well, did you do a blind tasting or did you do like I know what
I
I'm
did a
I
tasting?
saw you've
blind.
been doing these little.
Yeah, sipping. No, it was a blind tasting. I numbered it, and then Kelly changed
Sweet.
the numbers, so I didn't know. So
Which ones were you doing?
all 4 of the samples, and then Weller.
Did Puncher's chance come last?
I don't know.
Oh, you haven't checked
I
underneath. it.
literally haven't checked. All I know is that Weller didn't come in, and Dickel, which I actually liked when I drank it separately, was my least favorite.
Did you drink it on ice?
Nope, drank him straight.
Okay. I felt like ice
You
with
gotta do
Weller's.
both.
I mean, I like Weller. Don't get me wrong, but when we did it, I was like,
I
we were all
wanted-
like, "This is the worst." And
I
it's like,
wanted to blind taste it just straight, like
mhm.
little sips, and do it that way.
All right.
Yes, I would put it on ice.
We
But
good?
yes, let's
Okay,
Sorry.
Marcy, keep going.
roll. Yeah. No, sorry.
All right.
D-roll.
Had I participated, I would contribute, but
It's literally
let's-
just me, but
well, yeah, but didn't Ben just do something similar like just the other
Yeah,
day?
at a house with some guys
was
that were
like
like,
an-
"We don't
yeah.
like whiskey," and I'm like, "We're doing this."
him and a bunch of guys just norovirus.
People he gave
each
the
other.
norovirus to. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, hey, guys, try this whiskey.
I baby
virus?"
birded all the
Let me
samples in
lick
their
it
mouth.
first.
I was like,
You guys have pink eye?
You guys ready? I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. Please.
Okay. Right. And we're back. Okay,
We did
so
it.
guys, I am really excited about this. I've been telling you about it. I can't remember if we mentioned on the pod or not, but old friend Chris Deville, he used to write for the Crew when the Columbus Alive was around. He is the managing director for Stereo Gum now, and he played guitar in the first iteration of my band, The Compressions, when I spun it up with Lauren, my wife, and Claire Pollard. And then actually when he left that band, Ben, I think you
yeah.
you were his replacement.
"Yeah," but you guys made me dress like him and cut
Right.
my facial hair like him. You're like, "So here's
Yeah.
the deal."
You
I
guys
was
kind of
like,
look the
"Okay."
same now. You guys like are rocking the same same beard, right? But anyway, so we're gonna bring Chris in here to do a new segment we're calling the Shootout with Chris Deville. It is all Crew trivia. I've asked him to kind of make it topical to the games that we just played or games that we're gonna play. So I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So are you ready to play?
We're all really
Yeah,
Yeah,
nervous.
let's go.
All right, let's bring in Chris.
I
got some
Chris.
Hi, Chris.
And then you'll do like a little fade, right? If you're gonna do a video, you'll
Mhm.
say, Chris, welcome to the club.
Mhm.
Right?
Yep.
Is that good enough?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
Chris and Ben would look a lot more alike if Ben didn't dye his beard to not be gray.
Man,
I don't-
savage. Just a total
Is he-
takedown.
Well, no, is he all gray?
Who, Chris?
Not all gray.
I couldn't
He
even
looked like
see
a
him. He
good
looked
amount
like
of gray.
a marshmallow
I took
in the
that
bottom.
as I took that as a Ben takedown, not as a
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, totally.
Definitely.
But I'm like,
Yeah,
this
he looks
is
good with the
all
salt and
gray.
pepper, Ben.
Yeah. And Ben like does the straight razor thing, so it looks like it's like drawn on.
So I look like I'm in the Backstreet Boys. This girl that Trey and I work with, she keeps telling Tracy and I, like, you guys got to make it like real thin around the lip and then down here. And I'm like
Richard Gere in the Cotton Club.
yeah, no, it's like the
God, that's
alcoholic from
awful.
Backstreet Boys. It's that guy.
The guy that was like 15 years older than the others.
Yeah.
Did they have a song in Twister?
No. No. Just the Goo Goo Dolls. Long way down. I could never make it. I have the tab book right here. For a boy named Goo.
So
It's going.
So we're doing the Chris thing now. Let's see.
So are we going
almost
to come
done with
back?
No.
Yeah, we're going to
And
come
then-
back and talk MLS playoff structure to Trey.
This is going to be a long fucking episode.
No, it's not. I mean, no, it's not.
You could cut down quite a bit.
I'm
of
going to have to
ours,
cut.
too,
Yeah,
I
I'm going to have
think.
to cut down the
Cut-
shit out of it.
No, our thing was only like it wasn't 20 minutes. It could have been 15. It was definitely 15, but I don't think it was 20.
Yeah, I might cut the DC one down more.
Okay, so we'll keep it quick here. We're just gonna do quick playoff structure. We're gonna make fun of it, right? And then I'm gonna say, and Ben, tell us about your DC preview that you did with James from what's it called? James from
TC UK.
DC United
DC
Kingdom.
United Kingdom.
United Kingdom. All right.
Well,
All right,
it was
big
Tracy
thanks
and
to
I.
Chris. Looking forward to some more of that.
Yeah.
It was a lot
Many more
harder
shootouts.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
than I expected. But I looked at the scores. Everyone was batting about 500. So I think
no
that's
one
about
goose
right.
egged, which is
Yeah.
what I was really worried about.
No.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. We should screenshot the facial expressions after the first question.
Yeah.
I was like,
I was
no.
under the impression these were multiple choice. He's like,
Not
nope.
this one.
Awesome. Okay, so we're going to do a quick rundown of the new playoff structure. I have thoughts, but Trey, kind of go through that, and we can discuss for a minute here.
Wow, did MLS throw a curveball here? It would have been better if they would have released this maybe in December or January, but waiting until February, 3 days before the kick?
Very strange.
I think the biggest changes here is going to be so you now have an 8 and a 9 getting in and playing a wild card game in the East and the West.
Okay. Previously, there's a line below 7.
Correct.
Right? Okay.
We would have been in this last.
Yes,
Yes,
we
we
would have been
played
in,
in.
and we would have been playing 9th place, which would have been, I forget who it was at this point.
Cincy,
Denver or something.
Charlotte,
No,
or Orlando.
so
One of those teams.
Yes,
Right.
one
We're
of
all
them.
like right in the bubble there. Yeah.
So you have 8 and 9 playing each other, and then the biggest thing about this new playoff structure is it is going to benefit the home team, the higher seeded home teams. So 8 or 9 are going to play a best of 3. First team to win 2 games.
They're 8 and 9 are playing one another.
Correct. In a 3-game series.
Okay.
I did not. Okay.
Let's
So they
okay.
play a 3-game series. There is no ties, and each game goes immediately to PKs if tied.
no
30
extra
minutes
time.
extra.
No extra time, nothing.
Yeah.
It will immediately go to PKs.
Okay. All right. So then what happens
Okay.
next?
Okay. So the winner of 8-9 plays the number 1 seed.
Mhm.
Number 7 plays 2, 6, 3, 5,
Are they
4.
single elimination?
No.
Okay.
Those will play in a best of 3 series.
Oh, I'm so mad. Okay. Okay.
I did not know this.
I didn't
Yeah,
know
it
the
was in
wild
the
card
text
was the
thread.
best of 3.
Okay.
And then it goes to single elimination.
Oh, okay. So after the first post wild card round.
It's like the quarterfinals.
Correct.
It's
So
single elimination.
Starting with the semis, it's single.
Correct. So, and then at that point, one will play the winner of 4-5.
Yeah.
3 will play 2-7, and then so on and so forth. And at that point, they will play 2 15-minute overtimes, just as we have seen, because it is single elimination. And then the rest of the playoffs is the exact same. They're getting more teams in. They're penalizing the lower ranked teams by making them play more early. And then that team has to play the highest rated seed.
Yeah, but the highest rated seed, the highest rated team has to play 2 games to get through.
Well, everybody has to play.
Yeah, but the team they're playing has already played 2, possibly 3 games. So it should be a trade-off to where it's going to benefit the higher ranked team.
It should benefit the better team.
Let's do it
random.
Let's do a quick take if you got one. I've got one. That's why I'm formatting it this way. But
hey,
go
in
ahead,
a vacuum. In a vacuum, I don't mind it because it means that regular season actually counts more. You get 2 home games to settle the score, right? Or you could settle it in 2 games too. But here's the other thing: is why do this? I thought the playoffs we just watched this fall was a really, really good playoff.
Best.
And we weren't even in it.
Yeah.
And it was a good playoff. And I don't get that, but I understand it. I think Apple TV probably has something to do with it.
100%.
I don't hate it. I hate the timing, and I don't quite understand it. But in itself, I would like to see how this plays out.
Okay, Ben.
So is it the best of 3 is like the higher ranked team plays at home, then away, then at home?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, how long is this going to last?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's a good question.
Year, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I genuinely think it's like an Apple cash grab or something like that where they needed more games to fill. But man, here, listen, like we're cutting the season, like we're taking 2 months off to play a new tournament where you play like, Liga MX's teams. We also have the, basically what the FA Cup is and EPL, like, so we have that tournament going on, and then we have this tournament. I actually think the
Gold Cup, right?
Yeah, I don't think it actually. How do I want to say this? I think it makes the regular season not as important because more teams are getting in. Like 2 more teams are getting in.
I will note, Trey, oopsie doos. The wild card is a 1.
Yeah, it's a 1 game. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
makes less sense.
Best of 3 is only
the best of 3 is round 1.
First round for everybody.
All right, Haas. Go ahead.
Sorry, yeah. The wild card will advance to the round of best.
Yeah,
of
that's
3.
why I was kind of like that would be a lot of games.
Still
to
doesn't make any sense. For like it.
All right.
All right. So, like you guys said, the playoffs were successful, entertaining, made sense. Casual fan can jump in, take a look, get excited about like a playoff bracket. So my first thought is like, well, why don't we just confuse the casual fan? It makes they have no idea what they're doing.
Exactly.
Then I had one more thought. We're already excluding the casual fan by having it on Apple. So there's no one to confuse because it's only people that want to be watching that are watching.
Yeah,
only people who want to be confused.
Baseball and hockey.
Okay, yeah. So and this is my take, and I'm a little less mad because the wild card is a single game, but I understand aggregate, home and home. Like that makes sense to me. Soccer is not a series sport. And I will take it a step further. Basketball is not a series sport. Why do they play best of 7? I won't get too far down that rabbit hole, although the Haslams did buy the Bucks today.
Yeah, cool.
So more, as Haas said, more attention.
It's pronounced Milwaukee.
More distractions for the Haslams. But like,
thanks, Alice.
It's not a series sport, and it's not played in that way. It's baseball. Baseball's a series sport. Baseball should be played in a series.
Yeah,
this doesn't make any sense, and it is a money thing. And if we just want to acknowledge that, that's fine. We can all move on and just say, okay, this is what they're going to do. But it does not align with the gameplay and it's stupid.
Here's the thing: they wanted more games. Double elimination would not make it fair for the team that made it better in the regular season. So then they said, "What's the next best thing we can do?" Oh,
best of three is so lazy and dumb. So mad.
So a couple of things. Yes, Mort, I believe you were correct in saying that. Let me try and break this down a little bit. Yes, cash grab, Mars. I agree. Casual fan, probably not going to be interested, probably not going to be watching. Yes. Unfortunately, as we continue on and we're adding teams 30 and possibly 31.
Yeah, that's true.
They're going to try and find, and it's in an unbalanced schedule. You know, not everybody's playing home and away. Not everybody's playing each other. They're trying to play teams from the East and the West and everything else and moving teams in conferences. Nashville's coming to the East. It's never going to be fair, but yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you. It's a cash grab, and adding teams 8 and 9 into it is adding like the continuation of March Madness, like where it's like, and now there's a play-in game, and it's like, wait a minute.
70% of the teams are making the playoffs.
Correct.
That's the highest in any like pro sport.
Yeah, I mean, Mexico has 2 winners every year, so give me a break.
But we have to remember we're in the entertainment business, or they are. We're just.
I have questions. I think we're going to be tight on time this week, so I want to talk more about how do casual fans watch these games? Don't answer.
There are a few nationally.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Also, every time you said series a few minutes ago, I thought you were saying serious, like it wasn't a serious sport.
That's not what I said.
Takes it to a whole nother level.
I didn't hear that.
Cool. You know, guest on soccer.
Yeah, no. The basketball thing. It's like you put the same 5 guys out every game. Why is this being played in a series? There's no good answer other than money, which is fine. If it's money, then that's fine. Okay, all right, that's enough. Are we good on that? We good on?
Fine.
Yep. Good enough.
Still confused, but let's just go.
Hopefully, we have to remember this, right? Hopefully, we're involved. Okay. We talked to James from DC United Kingdom. Ben and Trey were on with him yesterday. Ben, why don't you set that up?
Yeah, he just kind of talked about where they're at, kind of the moves they've done and whatever. We'll kind of get into it, but he was an awesome guy. We had a blast. I, for some reason, also because I have like fog brain, did not realize DC United Kingdom. He was actually in the United Kingdom.
Oh,
yes. So he kept putting in like, yeah, I'll talk to you. What is it? Like 5 Eastern time, and I'm like, you don't got to put Eastern time. We're both like, he's in DC. And then once he spoke to us and he had the accent, I was like, oh no, yeah, I totally, I get that. Tracy's like, yeah, dude, and I'm like, I did not. Nope, did not.
Ben's like, that's a weird Maryland accent. Like,
what is happening? You're in our nation's capital.
What are accents?
But no, he was awesome, and he went through, kind of what to expect, and it was interesting because he's in the United Kingdom, but actually doesn't follow the EPL and only follows DC. It's just it was bizarre, but he was awesome. He was a great,
really nice guy.
Let's cut over to that, and then when we come back, we'll wrap up and do our predictions for the DC game, and also we're going to go through the rules of that ongoing competition. So
best of 3.
We'll be back. No best of 3.
I gotta pee.
Best of 3. I gotta pee.
Go ahead.
So it's only one best of 3 game.
Yeah, that's my bad on that. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's still.
Well, no,
I still don't know.
No. You can't say it's only one best of 3 game. That's like an oxymoron thing. Like
one round of best of 3.
One best of 3 series.
Offsides.
Yes. Offsides.
Offside.
Yeah. No. So yes, the wild card match between 8 and 9 will play each other. That's your play-in game. And then
1 game.
Correct. And then 1 plays 8 or 9. 1 plays the lowest seed. 2 plays 7, 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5.
And that's the best of 3.
That's the best of 3.
I honestly don't. I can see some positives to it because you don't have any like random shitty team gets lucky or 2 PK calls off of bullshit handballs. Like the better team should pull through. But I don't want to admit that openly on the podcast.
Sure. So it'll be like the.
I will.
So at that point, how many teams are there? 4 per conference.
Yes.
And
I mean, you'll have 4 series going on per conference.
And
so
coming
2 teams, 4 games.
That's the quarterfinals. Going out of it, you're into the semis.
Correct.
For Eastern Conference and Western Conference.
The biggest change for this will be it will honestly impact the higher seeds. It should help the higher seeds because if we're an 8 or a 9 seed and we come up against Philadelphia and have to play them 3 times and beat them twice,
probably only 2 times at that point.
Yeah,
because it's best of 3.
Lauren called bullshit on Chris's first question.
Own goal.
He's like,
thanks, Lauren.
That's not a thing.
Well, he didn't preface it with what crew player.
Right. Very sneaky.
Who scored.
I'm just glad because I was like, who was even on the team? And I don't want to just say McBride.
I would have guessed McBride just because of star power.
Yeah. How do you say the guy's name with the M?
Mazanoff.
Mazanoff. Yeah, Brian Mazanoff.
Yeah.
Was he an original?
Yeah, he was.
I don't remember. I was at the first game.
Honestly, the fact that we 2 of us,
Cunningham and Stern Johnson.
Made it kind of like okay, we're all on the same page.
I was so scared. I was like slowly I was like looking at everybody else. I was like,
I was worried he wasn't on the team, and he wasn't.
Yeah. You're like, he wasn't born yet. I'm like, I don't deserve to be here. I was just thinking, I was like, I'm pretty sure he was on the team.
All right, let's wrap
honestly,
this
what
up
do we get,
here,
2
guys.
or 3 out of 5?
I need to make a decision on a score.
I told Lauren about the first question from Deville. She said it was bullshit. She threw it out. She's like, that's not fair. You have to ask who scored the first goal for which crew player. I was like, well, we didn't get that right either, so doesn't matter.
It would have been McBride. Yeah. We should have.
Oh, that's a lot of whiskey.
Okay,
I still feel drunk right now. I'm not like drinking.
All we're gonna do here, I'm gonna. Oh, do you want me to just read this Nordeck tailgate thing? Or
oh yeah.
I'm just gonna. Okay. Okay, and we're back. Final thoughts and predictions format for next week's game. Nordeck Tailgate, brought to you by Black Flag Social Club, North Side of the Stadium. Go Crew.
We did it.
All right, guys.
Oh,
see you next
Do that
week.
again, because you said Black Fag. Because you said it, I was like...
Check the tape. There's an L in there. There's an L in there.
Really get that tongue
We're
there.
going to offend in one statement.
It's not a serious flag. Okay. All right, we're back. Big thanks to our guests this week. I think this is our first 2-guest week.
Yeah, multi-pass.
Yeah. Crowded.
Multi-pass.
Crowded. No one gets that. No one gets that.
They should. Are you going to card us?
I'm starting over.
You going to card us or what?
I am.
What, you want to fight
us? Oh, no. You're out. You're out of the outro. You're out of the outro.
Mute him.
Oh, do I have to miss next week's pod?
Mute Oz. Mute him.
No.
I'm going to mute him. I'm going to mute Oz so he can't weigh in. All right. Just so that everyone knows, so that we all know it's above board, I'm muting Haas here. Haas made a reference to The Fifth Element, which like, I mean, it's okay.
I think I did first, didn't I?
Oh, you did
I think that's what he's saying. Yeah, I did it first. That's why I thought I got.
We don't have VAR. We don't have VAR, so you're.
This is literally being videotaped.
We're not on video.
We don't have an assistant referee to help me. I was looking at Hans. I didn't. So he's
you
out.
can take credit for it because I
He's
really
out.
can't get.
He's out.
I can't get 2 yellows.
Okay, so because of that, I gave him the yellow, and then he trash talked me and did not respect my position of
Dissent.
authority, and that's what got him tossed.
That makes
obscure
sense.
reference, that's a yellow, take it easy kind of thing. Or else at the end of the show, so like things have been building up. I've been seeing the things he's been doing.
There's a lot of tension.
But the back talk is what got him muted. Okay, so going into the last week's game, we talked about our predictions. Oh, we're gonna have to unmute Haas so that he can do his prediction.
No, I can write it on
get
the
a
notepad.
pen. Get a pen. You'll have to do yours with a pen. Okay, so I think the plan is so if you get the result right, you get 1 point. Last week we all guessed either a draw or a win for the Crew, so we all have 0 points. So if you get the result correct, you get 1 point. If you get the score right, you get 2 additional points, so a total of 3. We're going to keep track on the socials of the running score and of the scores week to week. And
so far that's been very easy.
Yes, after one game, we're going to keep up with it because
Thanks, Mort.
I'll tell you why we're going to keep up with it, because the loser is going to have to we're going to have one of the new clown pants, what do we call it? Clown pants patchwork Austin jerseys.
Yep.
The barcode.
Made up with pre-court on it, and the loser will have to wear it to next year's CREWSMAS. And have it
really?
prominently displayed in their background for the rest of the season.
Yep.
So
When did we vote on this?
you were out.
No, I can't.
You were out.
I think you were dead.
Yeah.
No one was saying like, don't do this.
No, we totally voted for you.
No, this was the idea.
I thought I had to wear it.
People are
on
gonna
the pod.
fight
I didn't
us.
know I had to wear it on the.
I would
Yeah,
fight
you
us.
have to wear it at CREWSMAS,
Mm-hmm.
and
You have to have
Wow.
it prominently displayed in your backdrop next season. Okay,
Oh,
so we'll be keeping track. Okay, so all that said,
Spur it on.
DC,
don't be last.
DC, what was?
I'm gonna be last.
Remind me the result. DC last week.
3-2. Won it in the
3-2.
diff.
98th
Mhm.
minute.
Okay,
Yep.
they won, and they were playing
Toronto.
Toronto. Okay. All right, so let's start with Ben. What's your prediction for this week's home opener CREWSMAS with DC United?
3-1 Crew.
Okay. Is that someone keeping track of this? Mort, are you the recorder?
Yep, I got it.
All right, 3-1 Crew for Ben. Okay. And Mort, what are you guessing?
You want a short answer or a long answer?
How can there be a longer
I got-
answer?
No, I don't. 2-2.
2-2.
Same result I had last week. The reason is Benteke and Klitsch. I still question our defense, but we're going to go home and get some goals. I hope I'm wrong, but I really don't want to wear that green and black ugly thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Trey?
1-0 Crew.
Wow.
Okay.
Haas, you're gonna have to hold up a thing
Haas.
you got.
1-1.
Oh.
Whoa. He unmuted.
Oh,
Whoa.
yourself. That's suspension.
Yeah.
Ben totally started it.
Is that like him coming off the bench and like?
Yeah, it
Screaming at the
is.
ref.
It is. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'll let-
Also, the
Fun, fun.
punishment only hurts those of us that are in Columbus that are going to be at CREWSMAS.
Yeah, I'll make a trip. If I lose, I'll make a trip.
Okay.
Oh, that's rough.
Okay.
All right, Morris, hit me with it.
1-1. Haas said 1-1. So again, no one thinks we're gonna lose. I mean, I don't think we're going to lose. I'm just pointing out, like,
Correct.
I was thinking about it today. We could just never guess we're going to lose. We'll have to see. I think, we talked a lot about defensive breakdown. I don't think we're going to have those kinks worked out. We're going to get scored on. I think we talked about Hernandez, Cucho being in better positions. I like the 2-2 more. Let's say, I'll say 2. Did anyone say 2-1? I was going to say 2-1 Crew.
2-1.
Yeah, I like,
All
I like
right.
that.
So then I have Ben 3-1 Crew. Me, I have I have a draw 2-2. Trey has 1-0 Crew. Haas 1-1, and Mars with 2.
Yeah, and of
Crew.
course we can guess the same thing, right?
Yes.
So, okay. All right. One other just quick announcement. The Nordeca tailgate, brought to you by Black Flag Social Club, is now on the north side of the stadium. Anything to add to that, Trey?
No.
Yeah, I just checked all their socials
Okay.
as they update the stuff.
I
Sounds
like
like
that they're bringing
right.
an official tailgate
Right.
back.
Yeah.
that's why we brought it up.
And,
We
supported by
talked
the
about it
club.
last week. There were big questions about that, so good to see that that there's progress being made there.
There was also a statement saying, get early to the stadium because there's a lot of things going on for Christmas.
Yeah, lots of stuff at the stadium. Make sure to hit all the local establishments, whatever you fancy. But 2 p.m. Black Flag Social tailgate. Just get there. Get there, be loud, have fun. Whatever you do, make it your own.
Are we going to have anyone there, like passing out coasters or do anything like that?
I will be at the game. Haas, Mort.
Be at
I'm
the game.
assuming.
Be at the game.
I'll be at the game.
Yeah, all
Yep.
the
We got to come up
coasters.
with some plans.
Yeah, all the
We'll do our
coasters.
best.
I was kind of saying that I'll be there early.
Oh yeah,
But I
We've
will
got a
have
bunch
a,
of swag
striker.
over at Land Grant.
Yeah, if you don't have tickets to the game, get down to Land Grant. It's a great place to watch it. Fantastic brews. I'm sure Tony will be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but whatever you do, get out and support the team. Wear your colors. Yell, loud, scream.
Yeah, I
And
think
it's
it's
Mort's
Mort's
birthday.
birthday.
And it's Mort's birthday.
All
Yeah,
right, Morty
happy
Trumpets.
50th. Mort.
Oh,
Happy
thank you for
50th.
remembering, guys. You're the best.
Morty Trumpet.
All right, sounds good. Can't wait. Go Crew.
Good looking 50.
Go
Go
Crew.
First win of the season,
Yeah, I hope so.
even though I said 1-1.
Yeah.
Top of the table. Top of the table.
Top of the table, man.
It is.
What- how old are
technically
you, Mort?
possible.
43.
44.
Okay.
I'm old, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
That's why I get easily confused.
Doesn't even dye his beard like Ben.
yeah, sack up, man.
But I want to look young, I shave.
Yeah.
Your head or your face?
Everything.
Okay.
Prove it.
Everything. He's like, I'm like a baby.
Prove it.
Toe knuckles.
Oh boy.
That's the dead giveaway. Like if you shave your arms and you don't do your knuckles, and it's a little weird.
Oh
Yeah.
man, it's just like you look like Wolverine with.
I don't even
with his
have.
hair.
I don't feel like I have hair on my hands.
That's
at
a
all.
Just
Norwegian
keep bragging
thing.
there, Mort.
Yeah, I got some squibblies.
Oh, there it is. There's some.
Um,
Oh, yes.
Sweet. I'm gonna push off here. Himmel, can you edit the interview with the questions? And I can do the rest.
the audio.
The DeVille
Oh,
portion.
the game, the Chris stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just the Chris one.
Yeah.
So I think that's relatively short because if you can bust that out, I can do the rest. I already did the DC one. I think I'm gonna take another look at it and see if I can cut it
So
down.
do you guys have kind of your take a little bit on the game and all that during that call? Because we haven't really talked
No, not really.
at all about the game.
What game?
That's the only thing that for me, the DC game.
DC game.
Only thing we said was, "Here's the score,"
Here's our
and then we had
predictions.
them calling in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we
we'll
talked
get
about
to
it.
that. And even if they don't,
Yeah.
I mean, we never we didn't talk much about like what to anticipate last year.
No,
I don't know.
Well,
it's fine.
If we're gonna
be short on something, I'd rather it be, guessing what's gonna happen in the game.
Yeah, and I like what Trey. I think you were hitting it here was later on where we're seeing what's ahead of us in order to get to the playoffs or whatever else. Then I think it maybe comes a little bit.
If we've got 15 games under our belt, we have a better idea of what the next game might look like or what we need to do.
It's also tough on a Monday night before like news about injuries and people being there, not being, Monday night is pre-news for the weekend game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like the past couple weeks, big news has dropped like on Tuesday or Wednesday morning, right before we put the podcast out.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Welcome to the club. We are, and I appreciate you jumping in with us here. You really step up our game for us as the former crew writer for the Alive. You're going to bring a lot of notoriety to our show here. So much thanks. So I'm just going to kind of hand this over to you. We want to do a speed round here. I'm calling it the shootout with Chris DeVille. I hope that we can do lots of installments of this segment, but I'll let you take it away. I'm going to keep score here. And then we can have a running total going throughout the season to see who really won in the shootout. So welcome.
Cool. Yeah, cool. So, the way this is going to work is I've got 5 trivia questions. One, we'll start you off with a little more general one, and then there's some that are related to opponents, recent or upcoming opponents. So I'll just hit you with the question, and then I don't know how we're going to do the answering in the sense of if everybody's supposed to answer at the time, or if we're just going to go around.
Oh, right. Oh, do you guys have a pen handy? Like, could we hold up your answer?
Yeah, I got it.
I think that would be
because
we don't want to.
We don't have paper handy.
I am so nervous. I've been ever since you before we even had the pod started, like season 1. Mark's like, I have this idea. We're gonna get DeVille on here, and he's gonna ask you questions. And I was like, I am so nervous about that.
So while they're collecting their things, Chris, what have you been up to? I mean, we used to play music together. I've been out of Columbus for years. Tell us what you're doing these days.
Well, I'm the managing editor of Stereo Gum, which is a music website, music
Huge
news, reviews, interviews, all the journalistic content, plus, memes, blog, shitty blog posts, content mines. And I'm excited. I'm going to be back at South by Southwest for the first time in years in a few weeks. So that'll be cool. Going to reveal the lineup of our South by party on Wednesday, I think. So that.
Where are you holding it at?
Cheer Up Charlie's.
Okay.
Has any of the lineup stuff been announced for the South by in general? I haven't been paying that close attention.
Bands, yeah, hundreds.
Okay.
But yeah, our show is the best. But I don't know when is this coming out?
Like 2 days.
Yeah, 2 days.
On Wednesday.
Can't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, then it's today that our lineup is announced. Barty's changed. Nice play. They are gutting a body of water. Portrayal of guilt. Many
you
others.
Heard it here first. Yes.
Oh wow.
Excellent.
Little Biscuit. The Biscuit.
Anthony Precourt.
The Biscuit's back.
Oh no.
Will Precourt make any appearances at South by Southwest?
Try to summon Precourt. We're gonna try to lure him there with tacos, and then
let's get that bucket of queso.
Bucket of queso.
Queso.
Sacrifice.
Okay,
Yeah.
is everybody ready? Oh, that's so the Stereo Gum thing. I've been trying to get book pitches ready and stuff, but that's a little too premature to discuss with any kind of detail. Yeah,
Okay,
I don't
well,
know.
that's
Living life,
awesome.
being a Columbus, Ohio suburban dweller up here in Worthington.
Are you doing sports writing?
A little bit of sports writing. I mean, with Alive not existing anymore, I don't have like a current outlet to write about the Crew. I've done a little bit of writing about Ohio State athletics for the Alumni magazine. Wrote about the women's basketball team, the women's hockey team. But yeah, mostly been doing music writing lately. Definitely looking to get into some more sports writing coming up soon.
All right, well, let's get started.
Yeah, let's do the first one. Okay, so question number 1 in the very first installment of the shootout. This is extremely general interest type question, but you got to be a real OG. Who scored the first goal in Crew history? This one is not multiple choice.
Why is it not multiple choice, Chris?
As we all sit here, just like,
Yeah.
and
Ben answered B, which doesn't exist. Oh, okay.
It's like Celebrity Jeopardy, but without the
I like
celebrities.
it. I moved here in like 2006, so thank you.
Okay.
Hey, that's when I got into soccer more. I didn't even like soccer before then.
Not
I was
everyone-
at.
I just know one name.
All right.
Okay, we waiting?
yeah, I got one.
I was at the first
Wait.
game.
All
And I
right.
still can't.
Does everybody have something written down?
I don't know if he was on the first team's roster, but I
This
got
is-
someone
yeah.
written down.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right, let's see it. We'll
1,
we'll
2,
read them off.
3.
Go. Okay.
All right. We got
Oh,
Mine's
sweet.
Hans and a couple of Cunninghams.
Yeah.
John, yeah.
Ben. Okay, so real quick, Ben and Haas said
Stern
Stern
John.
Stern John. Tracy and Mort said Jeff
Cunningham.
Cunningham.
I
Famous
am
either.
sad to report to you guys that neither of those guys was on the team.
They
in
scored
1996.
together at the same time.
However, they did both join the team in time to play at the Horseshoe before they moved to historic Crew Stadium in 1999. Because
Okay.
I don't want to blow. I don't want to blow potential future trivia question, but I will. The first goals scored at historic Crew Stadium were by Jeff Cunningham and Stern John.
Yes.
But yeah, in '96, the first Crew goal was scored by DC United defender Thor Lee. It was an own goal.
Oh,
And
No.
oh, come on.
the game ended up being a 4-1 Crew victory, and it had the Brian McBride goal that became MLS.
Yeah, I
goal
would
of
have
the year.
guessed McBride.
Yeah,
Yeah.
McBride. There's a famous goal in that game where goalkeeper Bo O'Shaughnessy punted the ball downfield. McBride headed it in the air to himself and then scored on the volley with the ball never
Yeah,
touching the
wow.
ground.
I've seen that. Bo
You
O'Shaughnessy.
wish that was the first Crew goal, but it was actually an own goal by DC.
That sounds about right.
Well, at
so
least it's
the
topical
questions
for this
will
week.
get easier from there because they are
Not
That
trick
was
questions.
That was a strong lead. Strong lead, Deville.
Mhm.
okay.
That was an upper 90. That was an upper 90 shot right there.
It probably wasn't if it was an own goal.
Yeah.
Whoop.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right.
Unless it's Haas.
All right. Okay,
right.
so so that's a bunch of zeros. Okay. Okay.
Got
All right.
questions that are related to the Philadelphia Union
Okay.
and the Crew's ongoing relationship with the Philadelphia Union.
It was an own goal. It was an own goal. That was what it was. Oh. All right. Go ahead.
So Alejandro Moreno played for Columbus, and then after he left Columbus, he played for Philadelphia. He played for 3 other MLS franchises before all that. I'm going to list off 4. Which one of these did he not play for?
Awesome.
Los Angeles
We gave him
Galaxy.
too much time. Go ahead.
Okay,
LA
A
Galaxy.
is Los Angeles Galaxy. B is Chivas USA, RIP. C is Colorado Rapids. and D is San Jose Earthquakes / Houston Dynamo. They were the same franchise because the Earthquakes moved to Houston. So A is Galaxy, B is Chivas, C is Rapids, and D is Earthquakes / Dynamo.
And which team did Allie not play for prior to playing for the Crew?
All right. We ready?
Yep.
3, 2,
ready?
1.
Okay, let's see. Haas says
Ooh, everybody with the same one.
Colorado.
Yes!
Colorado. Yes.
All right.
Nice.
I
All right.
did not play for the Rapids.
I knew he played for Chivas.
Yeah, that takes.
I've been watching ESPN FC for the last few years. So he always talk about the old stories. I've been picking up on all the teams he's been
I like
playing
hearing him on the call.
Yeah, I think he's pretty good.
All right.
All right. So everybody is up to
Yeah, it's tied at 1. Yes.
No, we got number 3. What is the Crew's all-time goal differential against the Philadelphia Union? Answer A, +1. Answer B, -6. Answer C, -4. Answer D, -1.
Man.
Wow. Yeah, I knew.
I can't believe it's that tight.
Yeah.
Is this before or after?
Oh, this is factoring in the 4-1 slaughter over the weekend.
Extremely asterisks, but yes.
Yeah. Wow.
And
I mean, those 3 goals are within a few of the guesses.
Check the sources on the back of that game on Saturday. We'll see.
All right.
All right, everybody ready?
Yep.
Okay, let's see it.
All right, Chris.
The total goal differential. And now, real quick though, this is so plus. It would be like +1 Crew, right? Okay, so more.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so Mort and Ben say -1 Crew.
B.
Trey
Mine's
says
this -6. I think that's B.
-6.
I also
Okay.
went -6.
And Haas says negative.
That's a 6.
-6.
Yeah. There we go.
Wow.
This is the correct answer. It was -3 before this weekend, and it became -6.
All right.
The only thing I knew was we hadn't scored there since I think it was like 2016.
It's a V. I have a V
the past
right
5.
here.
Yeah.
The funny thing is the Crew has an all-time winning record against the Union, but they have a negative goal differential.
It's so close. So close.
Still, that's
like the
6
Minnesota
goals.
Vikings last
Do you know
year.
how many games?
How many games have they played?
Yeah.
33.
Okay.
Okay. That's crazy. All right. Well.
All right. What's number 4?
All right. One more Philly-related question. The first meeting between the Crew and the Union was at Philadelphia on August 5th, 2010. Columbus won 2-0, and the same player scored both goals. Who was that player?
In 2010.
I bet you it's 2 own goals.
A.
Oh, okay. No, there's AB. Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's multiple choice.
VAR.
Guillermo Barros Schelotto. B. Eddie
trap.
Gavin. C. Steven Leonard. And D. Other.
Oh man. Jonathan Other? Wasn't he a defender?
I think it was Steven Other.
Steven Other. Yeah. But he spelled Steven weird. Like
Yeah, PH. It was
one of the PH.
I don't. What does other mean?
Stiletto.
It means
Gavin,
not the ones listed.
Lenhart.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah, what does he mean? What is other? All right, I'm doing it.
Are you guys ready?
No, hold on.
I'm not ready. What was B?
B was Eddie Gavin.
Okay.
Yeah,
A is
I know.
DBS. C is Steven Leonard. And D is Other.
Yeah, I'm worried I'm going to show it and you're like, he wasn't even on the team. And then I get kicked off the pod for life.
Oh, so I have cards.
Oh,
So
sweet.
I could give you a red and throw you off.
He's brandishing a a red and yellow card for those who are
unruly
the audio format.
The non-sleepers.
For our listeners.
Okay.
All right.
Are you guys ready?
Oh,
All right,
no.
show it.
Can you even
Answer.
read mine?
I see.
It
Ben
is
says
the
Leonard.
correct answer. So I think we're back to everybody being tied.
Because Ben and Mort got it right.
Correct.
I feel like this
yes.
is one of
Trey
those
got it
ugly
wrong.
game that Leonard just stumbled into goals and we got to win or something. It just
Wow.
seems
Him and Zardes
like
have
that.
Why
the
you
same
gotta
thing
hate
where
on
they
Leonard?
score by their knees or something. Or the ball hits them in the face.
Yeah, beautiful
Wait,
here.
what did you guess, Tracy?
Should I give him that?
Stiletto.
I mean, Stiletto's a good guess.
That one felt too obvious.
I didn't
That's why I
feel like
went
he
with it.
scored
That's
many
what I said.
two-goal games, though. I feel like he scored
Yeah.
often here and there, but I never.
I was
in
not getting that
multiples.
deep into the weeds on the question.
Just too much.
You know, I was thinking Gavin.
Cheers.
Before you read the options, but
Man, Gavin.
And
That guy. He's like off the grid now.
yeah, he
Yeah.
pulled
Yeah.
a
No,
Dempsey, and now he's just like
he said
fishing.
Leeds and changed his name to Bamford.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Very different people. Very different players.
Yeah, Bamford doesn't play goalie.
but they
Well,
they're
they
different
grew, like,
humans. They're different.
8
humans.
inches.
Yeah. All right. All right. What's the
Round.
last one?
More question.
All right.
Yeah, this is the tiebreaker. Let's see
All
if we
right.
can get a
Oh,
winner
boy.
here.
All right, so we already discussed this that in the first ever Crew game was against DC, and then coming up this weekend, the Crew is going to host DC in their home
Yes.
opener again.
Christmas.
How many times has the DC been the opponent in the Crew's home opener?
Ooh.
Wow, that's a great question.
Ooh.
What season is it? Season
How many seasons have there been in
20,
soccer? This is, I think, 28.
28.
At least 3.
I was going to say 27, but okay.
So how many times has the Crew season started at home, the home opener where we host DC? Right? That's the question.
Yeah.
That's the OG team.
And
too.
while they're
Wow.
jotting down their number,
Oh,
five
this
is
just
the
an
right
open- this-
five is the right number of questions because of the shootout. And then maybe for future installments we should have some tiebreaker if we
I do have a random
to
question.
see-
Was
to
it still
determine
called a
who wins the
shootout
shootout.
back in the day when they had to like start from midfield and run? Was it still called a shootout?
Yes, they call
Or
it
was
a
it-
shootout.
Okay. Because I remember practicing that when I was a
turning
kid,
the tables on
Yeah.
Deville.
Is it called A, shootout, B, Runny McBeans? All right.
Running McBeans.
I haven't
Running
slept in
McBeanius.
weeks.
All right.
All right.
Are you guys ready?
I
Yeah.
do have
I'm
I
ready.
do have a way that we could tie break this if we need to.
Okay.
Okay.
Price is Right rules?
No.
Let's figure it
get
out.
something
Let's
else.
figure it out.
Okay.
All right, let's see
I'm
him.
ready.
Hold him up. 7. I see Ben has a 7. Haas says 12.
The 12.
Everybody's
would be,
way
right?
closer.
high. The answer is
5.
3.
3.
Ugh.
3.
There's only been one
Yeah, well done, Mort.
There weren't that many teams back in the day.
It's 1996 and 2023 when DC was the home opener when Christmas
Wow.
was celebrated with DC. So we could, if we need to tie break,
I could guess the year.
yes, you
Right.
could guess the other year. Would you
Okay.
like-
Does anyone think they could do that?
Absolutely not.
Wait a minute.
I can give you multiple choice on it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do multiple choice.
All right. A is 1998. B is 2001. C is 2005. And D is 2013.
Typing. Oh, that's you, Chris.
You said a number
99.
I guessed already in my head. So I'm just going
99,
with that one.
2001, 2005, and 2000. What was the last one? 13?
It's
13.
98, 2001,
Oh, I'm sorry.
2005, and 2013.
2013. Okay. All right, you guys ready?
Totally.
Hold on.
Okay.
Haas is
Haas, I
holding
can't
up,
read.
Master.
I don't
Haas
know.
is holding
I
up
changed
B.
B, which is 2001.
2001.
Ben says 05.
I say
Mort
06.
says 05. Man, we're gonna have another tie.
01.
No, everybody's wrong. It's 98.
That's 98.
No ties.
That's fitting. We all lose, right?
Yeah, that's
You know
about
what?
right.
Okay, yeah. So in the spirit of the Columbus
tie
Crew,
like
it's
last
a tie.
year, yeah.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Podcast, yeah.
It's a tie.
It was written in
Yeah.
the sky before.
We'll play to the death later in the season.
yeah.
That's good. Yeah, we can get some sudden death tiebreakers.
I take some pride in the fact that I was thinking for all those years I've been going, I can never remember a
Anything.
season opener against DC before this year. So it had to be before when I started going.
Yeah.
Good.
So,
These are tricky questions.
If they're too
Yeah.
tricky, I can try to rein
oh,
them in.
no, they're great.
I think it's good.
But,
I think it's good.
We
Cool.
have peanut brains.
I have I think that I've got an idea for like sudden death. There's always a game of remembering some guys. I mean, I don't think we need to get into that right now, but just simply like going around in a circle naming like former Crew players until somebody runs out.
Until somebody.
Yes.
It's like a game
yes.
of kings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does pronunciation matter?
They have to rhyme.
Yeah.
Pronunciation matters.
Yes, pronunciation does matter.
Ben.
All right, Chris. Well, this has been fun. I appreciate you. I appreciate you putting this together for us. So, just do you have anything to promote while you're here? Can we plug your Stereo Gum?
Stereogum.com. We always got the hot, fresh content coming at you. I'm writing about Songs Ohio Magnolia Electric Company album turning 20 years old this week. On Friday, that article is going to come out, and that is one of the greatest albums of all time. So I'm going to try to write something that's worthy of the quality of the album.
No pressure.
That'll be up at Stereo Gum. I don't think I have any big like freelance projects dropping imminently, but I will definitely report back with any big popping on future segments. But guys,
Yeah,
awesome.
man. Thanks for coming.
Chris.
Thank you.
Good to see you, man.
Chris.
Forward to
See
the
you
next
soon.
one.
See ya.
see ya.
All right. Hello and welcome. We have James Graham from DC United Kingdom on with us, and we are going to preview.
Nailed it.
We are going to preview DC United versus the Columbus Crew coming up on Saturday the 4th. James, pleasure.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, man.
Welcome. And also in the club, we've got Ben.
Hey, how's it going?
And I am Trey. And Ben, go ahead and lead us off and steer the ship for us.
Sure. Let's start out by plugging all your socials and kind of where to find you and whatnot. So hit me with the good stuff.
So Twitter at DC United Kingdom.
I've heard
That's
of it.
where I am most active. But I also do have a YouTube channel, which is where you can find my podcast. I've had loads of people on there. I've interviewed like previous head coaches, players, you name it. I've had them on.
Sweet.
And that is youtube.com at DC United Kingdom. I also got Facebook and Instagram, which I'm not massive on, but Instagram's probably the main one out of the two. Which
the
is
Facebook is for the 60+ fans out there, 60-year-old plus fans.
Yeah,
Or
I
40
looked at the
plus like us.
demographics and I saw the age difference between the Facebook and then the Instagram, and it was like there's a massive swing.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, but Instagram's Instagram.com, DCUKFC, and then the Facebook one is DC United Kingdom FC because somebody decided to take it.
Yeah. That's like the biggest struggle for us when we were going through all the platforms. We're like,
Yeah.
cool, we'll do upper 90 this, upper 90 this. And then it's like, and one of them, they were like, oh, it's taken. It's like,
It's
oh,
really
cool. I'll
frustrating.
just change everything we've just done forever. Great. Thanks. a lot.
Honestly, I think the Instagram one, it was like a DC universe thing. And
Yeah.
I'm like, and they don't even use it.
Should just, yeah. And I think at one point we even like reached out to somebody and they were
Same.
like, they don't, since it doesn't exist anymore, it just goes to nobody. And I can't,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get the pain. I love that you're on YouTube. We're actually going to try the video medium.
Honestly, it's been fantastic. So I started doing the video stuff a few years ago now, I actually did my first proper live show. I did a test one, but my first proper live show with Ben Olsen.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty good first one to do. I had him on in season 2. It was the first coach that I had on, and it was great.
Nice.
And stream live, no problems. We had a good chat about his days as a player, especially when he came over and played for Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and that's your old coach. I always really liked him. Well, let's start out here. First of all, congrats on an awesome, stunning victory against Toronto. And I know for us as Crew fans, they've always tried to say, "Oh, Toronto's your main person you're against," or like, whatever. You got to hate them.
It's your forced rivalry.
I'm like, come on, give me a break. It's never Toronto. But I watched the highlights and stuff like that, and it was awesome.
Yeah,
it was just awesome.
Things clicked into place.
Yeah. Yeah.
That joke right there for you.
Will not land because this is a Crew podcast, but I got it.
Yeah. Matthias Klick. If you follow the EPL, you're going to know who Matthias Klick is, really, especially if you're a Leeds fan as well. But yeah, that was a hell of a result.
Yeah. Speaking of that, let's talk about it. So last year, you guys got the Anthony Precourt awarded wooden spoon, which you took from Cincinnati, which we weren't terribly pumped about.
Yeah.
But to kind of tell us like what changes you've made to come out and do all the things.
Actually win a game?
Yeah. How's it feel?
I mean, to be fair, Wayne Rooney came in partway through the season last year, so he didn't really get enough season to establish his philosophy.
Sure, yeah.
So that was always going to be a big change for us, because at the start of last season, we had Hernan Losada. It was all about the 3 at the back and high press, high energy, just wear yourselves out before 60 minutes, and then you just last the last half an hour and you just knackered. Then
that's like that's like literally what happened to us last game. Yeah. Only it was 40 minutes.
There's only so much you can do at that sort of level.
Sure.
But then, we had Chad Ashton who came in, who kind of did the same formation but toned it down a little bit. And then Wayne came in and brought us back to the classic days of 4-4-2.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw the lineup, and I haven't seen a 4-4-2 since I was in high school. I mean, that's obviously what Tracy and I grew up playing, so I totally get it. It's like the triangles and 4-4-2, and it's like, but no one does that anymore. But when I looked up the FOT mob, like how you set up, I was like, and with Wayne Rooney, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
4-4-2. So Wayne Rooney came in last year.
Yes.
And he used to play for DC, but now he's not the coach, he's the director.
He's the head coach. So
he actually is the head coach.
He's just the head coach, yeah.
I swing and miss.
Nah.
Probably because he wasn't on the sideline at all last year. He came in, he's like, I'm the head coach, and then he just, would call his wife like, come on over, and she's like, nope.
No, she decided to stay over here in England, which is probably a wise choice.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I got to agree with that.
I mean, DC is a beautiful city. I love the place.
For sure.
There's a load of drama going on over in the UK with the trial with what's her face, Rebecca Vardy. Yeah, Wagatha Christie is what they nicknamed the trial.
Wow.
Yeah, that was
okay. So what other? So besides the coach, obviously we feel you. Same exact thing. Like that's kind of a major thing. Switching complete systems. What personnel did they bring in? I know they brought in Pedro Santos.
Oh, yes, Pedro.
Yeah, I'm super pleased about that signing.
Great. I'm glad you are.
Yeah.
We're so happy to lose him.
Really?
Nobody.
No.
Heck no.
No.
I was going to say,
he's beloved.
He's bags of experience. And that's
awesome.
What we needed. To have someone in MLS who's been there, done that, worn the t-shirt. Brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've had some major personnel changes. We've sold 13 players. Or got rid of them. Yeah. Some of them which were kind of forced upon us, some of them which were a little bit gutted about. So David Ochoa, really wish we kept him. He was a fantastic keeper.
Yeah.
But he was always going to go on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, sure. Kind of like Gaga.
What's his face? Bill Hamid.
Wow.
Who's rumoured currently to go and play in Scotland.
Really? I think I did read that.
Yeah, Dundee United, I think it is, which he'll be joining up with former DC player Ian Hawks.
Whoa, son of
John, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of other players, some players which we were quite happy to get rid of.
Yeah.
Rafa Roma, one of the worst players in MLS history.
Yeah, you had a lot of dead weight.
Yeah. So we got rid of those. A couple of others which are apparently on their way out. Ravel Morrison, who's not been registered with the squad, which is a massive shock. But then we brought in Mateusz Klich, who scored last night with an absolute pile driver from range.
I love it.
Who else we brought in? Pedro Santos, Mohamed Jeze. Then we brought in two keepers, Tyler Miller and Alex Bono. And then a couple, Ruan was another one.
Yeah, Ruan's not bad. And Bono's a good keeper. I mean, he came from what? Was that Toronto?
He came from Toronto.
Okay, yeah.
Which is probably not the best, considering their record last year.
Yeah,
he's
not
not
great,
a bad
but then again,
keeper.
considering you just beat him, eat it.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, Tyler Miller was brilliant last night. Yes, we conceded 2 goals, but when he needed to do what he needed to do, he did it well.
man, 8.1 rating. He was the second highest rated person with 2 goals scored on him. That's tough.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's awesome. So you got Klich or Click. You also have somebody. When did you get Benteke? Was that last year?
That was last year. Yeah.
Okay.
So he signed just after Rooney came in. The
where
story
did
behind
tell me.
behind that. So Rooney came in, and we needed a new striker to kind of fill a little bit of a gap. And apparently Rooney just got on the phone to Benteke, and then 5 minutes later he agreed to come and join us.
Yeah, that's the. I always thought that was kind of like akin to the Miami thing with Beckham, where he's like, I'm just going to call like some people, and they're just going to come in, and then Rooney's like, "Yo, you ever been to DC? Didn't think so. Like, come on out." I feel like he would get all these like weird fringe guys, or because I've known Benteke for years through the EPL and stuff like that. He's older, but I was like, I wonder if he's going to be any good. And sure enough, yesterday,
I mean, he did have a bit of a slow start to the end of last season after he joined us. But again, coming through midway through the season, not having a pre-season, things like that, going to struggle to actually make an impact. But he's had a decent pre-season, just got a couple of goals. And then last night, when he needs to, he was in the right place at the right time.
Good goal.
Good
Good header.
the net. Can't argue with that.
Yeah, I mean, you put 3 past, Sean Johnson, who's a great keeper.
Yeah.
So, and U.S. fans will also know that you guys still have Steve Birnbaum.
Yes. Yeah.
Coming in late.
Didn't make the starting 11 because he had the flu, but he came on towards the end of the game.
Wow. Still with the flu.
Still with the flu. Yeah. He apparently had the flu earlier on in the week. So he didn't manage to train as much as he was hoping to. So they rested him, brought him on. And
that's great. Yeah, and the last person is the DiPietro. He's the guy that scored in the death of the match in order. What's he all about? He actually looked pretty good. He came on at 67 minutes. Yeah,
so he's one of our hot prospects. We've got quite a lot of hot prospects coming through anyway because we've got a really good academy. But so TKD, just because his name's a mouthful. And I like
agreed.
To use his acronym.
We shorten everything.
Yeah. So he came through, played a lot with Loudon last year and started coming through towards the end of last season again because Rooney loves bringing in the youngsters. So he started to get some game time and he had a really good preseason again. He made a few assists for Benteke and actually scored a couple of goals in preseason. So it was a little bit of a surprise that he didn't start yesterday. But again, really happy that he was able to come on, make the impact and actually get that game-winning goal. Because it was just phenomenal. Yeah, he's a live wire. He's got a lot of pace. He's really confident, and he's just willing to go at players.
I love it. Yeah, I see a lot of similarities between what the DC is doing and what we're doing. Like we also are bringing in like a lot of youth. We signed. I mean, our biggest signing last year or in the past 12 months was probably our coach. Same as you guys, and then you have like a seasoned striker up top. Like we have Cucho, you have Benteke, and then you're just kind of building around that, but you're really putting a lot of emphasis on the youth and on the academy, which is all right. Well, it's like looking in the mirror.
Yeah, honestly, I love the way things are starting to evolve now, where moving away from things like the super draft, and a lot of clubs are now starting to build their own academies and bring the players through that sort of system because it works. You look at clubs in Europe, you look at wherever the big teams are, they've got their own academies and they're churning through players through that rather than.
We talked about it before, but it also has a lot of that like trickle down. Like once you sell it onto the academy, you can still receive that money. So people are saying, "Oh, that's another revenue." A way to get money and stuff like that, which is awesome. And plus, when you grab people out of college, they're like 22.
Yeah,
and at that point, looking overseas, those people are like dinosaurs.
I think the only one who I think has been really good over the last sort of few years is Daryl DK.
Yeah, he had a brace yesterday against Stefan.
Yeah, who's got a brace against the team I follow.
Oh, wait, you follow Middlesbrough?
Yeah, for my sins.
That's good. That's fine. Hey, you got Zach.
Yeah, we got Zach, and to be fair, we've been on a really good run recently since Michael Carrick came in. So.
Yeah, and also, I think you guys are on the hunt for the playoffs or something like that.
Oh, really?
6th or 5th,
we're
4th?
in the hunt for automatic promotion at the moment.
Top 2?
Yeah,
oh, nice.
So we're currently 3rd in the league. We were 4 points behind Sheffield United before yesterday.
Burnley's like far and away up top.
They're Burnley. Yeah, we can discount them. They're up.
The champion. I mean, we're getting off topic, but the championship this year is awesome. There's like one game between the 1st and the 12th team, or like anybody who's
brilliant,
still in it for forever. Okay, so new coach, new all that stuff, and let's talk about how are you going to set up against the Crew? Going away, coming to lower.com. What are you thinking?
Which is quite a nice stadium. I will have to say that.
Come on up.
I mean, I'll just fly thousands of miles over for the game. Why not? Yeah,
it's a pond. Fly over it.
Yeah, why not? It's one place I haven't been to in America, so why not? So I think we'll probably line up very similar to how we did yesterday. Classic 4-4-2. The only thing is, I think we'll probably end up with Birnbaum in the starting 11. I'd imagine Victor Paulsen will move back into the midfield role because that's where he generally plays rather than at centre-back, which he was found out a little bit last night. There's a few mistakes he made, but he did come up big towards the end of the game, just before we scored our winner. When Bernadeschi got to the byline, crossed it in, Paulsen was there to actually intercept it, which is great. So I think Birnbaum will come back into the lineup. We'll see. I don't know whether Matai, who was the 16-year-old at centre-back, who looked, again, really good.
For 16, give me a break.
He's only just recently learned how to flip and drive.
Yeah, right. Allegedly.
Yeah. So, being able to get... honestly, he looked really good. He had trials with Bayern Munich a few years ago.
Okay.
So...
luckily didn't make it.
Luckily, for our sake, but he'll go on to bigger and better things in the next few years. I would like to think.
Dang, he started over Donovan Pines too. Donovan Pines is another U.S. prospect, lanky, tall.
Yeah, I mean he's not as tall as me, but that's another story.
Eat it! Yeah. Shots fired.
Oh yeah. Well, I actually had him on my podcast a couple of years ago, and we were chatting about his height and how he's 6'5", and I was like, I'm only 6'10", so
Wait, you're 6'10"? Sorry.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I wish I could have something that would gauge the height in here, but
banana for reference.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's a 6'10".
Yeah.
Oh, God,
that's awesome. Me too. Totally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Dug so many basketballs.
I can understand why a studio under the stairs would not work for you now.
Now
that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, a studio under the stairs, understair cupboards in the UK, they're not that big.
Yeah, we've all seen Harry Potter
as well.
Yeah, he gets yeah.
So
totally not a thing. So you're thinking just normal 4-4-2?
Yeah, I don't think we'll need to change too much. There's a couple of things that we will need, but we didn't have our strong 11 out last night. There was a few players who you wouldn't expect to see in starting 11, like Nigel Robertha. We normally see Taxi up top with Benteke. So we'd normally see Steve Birnbaum. We would normally have seen Derek Williams at centre back as well. He was another player that we brought in the off season. So we would, and Brendan Hines-Ike as well, who would be fighting for that centre back position. So yeah, so we haven't seen the best 11 just yet, and that will happen over time.
Hopefully not, and hopefully not this weekend.
Yeah, we won't need our strongest 11.
Yeah. We're cutting that. That's going on the cutting floor, James. Not cool. I mean, maybe Steve Birnbaum gave everybody the flu. You know, maybe.
You know, it might get snowed off.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Ohio. Like, you could have a tornado of snow and it floods or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who even
It just
knows?
feels like the weather's just mad at the moment.
All right,
Wherever you
well-
go. So, but yeah, 4-4-2. I don't think we'll need to tweak too much. We'll just get a couple of extra players back into the 11. I think it's just our transition play was not the greatest. So we saw a lot of balls coming over the top, which I think Toronto saw as our weak point. Mainly because we didn't have Birnbaum, who was the best in the in MLS last year. So, yeah. So if he's back, we should be all right.
Yeah, that's always good to have. He is kind of a threat on set pieces.
Yes.
Which is something that I think we as the crew desperately miss, because I don't think Mensah was that great in the air. And I mean, Josh Williams, but he actually doesn't play. All right. Well, that's awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming on. Before you leave, I want to give a score prediction so I can edit it and then be like, have it like cut. So you're like, crew win.
Do you want me to give just a load of predictions so you can just choose whichever one you want?
Yeah, I'll just cut whatever one's correct. Yeah. Hey, and I guess last week you got the correct score prediction 3-2. So
yeah,
I mean, we might have I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I'm thinking, the games generally between us there's usually goals in it, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
And you look back to, I think it was 2 years ago, when we played at your grounds, Ola Kamara coming on and scoring as well.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, former crew player as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of goals in there. I think this one's probably, I'm going to be optimistic about DC because I always am.
You have to, and that's fine.
Yeah. I'm going to say 2-1 to DC.
All right, 2-1 crew. You heard it here first. Podcast over. We're done. No, I agree. I think there is going to be goals. 4-4-2 is just kind of interesting because no one's playing it, and it seems to kind of work sometimes, especially just like going back to basics is what I always feel.
Yep.
So, you know, and it's going to be, honestly, it's going to be a heartbreak to see Pedro Santos on the field with a different jersey. I mean, he really was. Him and Mensah, when they come back, is going to be. I may just not even watch it because I don't know if I can stand to watch it. He's an awesome guy.
Is Pedro just that much of a club legend for you guys?
To an extent. So when he first started, I was not a fan. This was like years ago. And then he developed into like this left winger. He's left-footed, but likes to cut in.
Yeah.
On the left side, which is, you know, I was always a fan of like predominantly right or left foot, the people that cut in. And then, as we progressed and he kind of aged out, what he did is he moved back to like a wing back position, or actually he was playing left fullback for the last 2 seasons, Trey.
Yeah.
And he was phenomenal at left back. Like absolutely. I wish we would have kept him for our like wing back position now, because that's like his perfect position for where he's at. And when we got rid of him, I'm like, man, that sucks, because he's a perfect wing back position. Like,
his versatility was phenomenal. And just steady Eddie. You knew what you were going to get.
Mm-hmm. His soccer IQ has a high ceiling. He gets it. Yeah,
it was one of those situations where the team was just kind of moving forward and the fit just wasn't going to continue to be correct with Nancy. But on and off the field, stand-up guy. Yeah. You know, never had any issues, never in any kind of trouble.
Yeah.
Always did and said the right things. I think he's got 2 kids, you know, and it just constantly, just the positivity that comes out of like all of his socials and everything else he's just a good guy to have on your team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. All right. So we got 2-1 DC, and we'll kind of go this. We're going to shoot back to the other guys, but yeah, thanks so much for coming out, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
very well. Awesome.
Obviously, you can tell by the accent, very late there. So I really appreciate you staying up.
Yes. Well, not compared to last night. I mean, it's only what, as we're recording, it's 25 to 11 my time in the evening. So
not
compared
terrible.
to watching the game when I was up till 3 a.m., this is quite early.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks again. And we'll check back probably into next week. I'm sure I'll be texting you on Twitter like, hey, you're going down, Dave.
Some banter.
Yeah, I love it. All right.
Appreciate it.
All right, we'll see you.
See you.
Take care.
Thanks, everyone, for joining the club. We hope you'll listen next week and every week, even in the off-season, to celebrate or commiserate. We'll save you a seat. If you like this podcast, please give us 5 stars and subscribe. You can email us at upper90clubpod@gmail.com. That's upper90clubpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at upper90clubpod. Go Crew!